right, here we go. We're recording. Welcome back to the Geek Boutique, everybody. We're actually Monday today. Oddly enough, Monday the 25th of October. We actually recorded this podcast last week, and for a number of reasons, including Jeff having to be on and off because of his Fan Expo hotel room being canceled like an hour before the podcast, which was less than 24 hours until you were supposed to check in. So Jeff had to deal with that. And then for some reason, when I downloaded the file, every time I try to edit it, the sound goes off sync. And I think I know what happened and why it's doing that. So we're not going to do that again tonight. But in any case, we're getting a redo here, guys. We're actually going to get to talk about DC Fandome again tonight. Now, I know DC Fandome's a few weeks away now, really. But I've got some, there's a lot of information that came out that I want to go through, and I'd like to go through it one by one this time. So let's actually try to have a quick redo here on what we were saying last week. I'm okay if you guys talk, or go over the same talking points as last week, obviously, because nobody heard them but us. But before we get into it, so tonight, obviously, crotchety old man, co-host of the Geek Boutique, Complex Cosplay. What's going on, Jeff? How was your Fan Expo weekend?
It was really good. It was tiring, but it was really good on Friday, in keeping with. What's funny, I didn't realize till afterwards. I was DC 2 of the 3 days, so that was good times. That was fun. So on Friday, I did Zack Snyder's Justice League Superman, so that was a lot of fun. Friday, it wasn't very busy there though, and then Saturday, I happened to run into you and your buddy Rob and your amazingly epic Predator costumes, and I was doing Peacemaker with a bunch of other Suicide Squad members. That was cool. And then Sunday I was Omni-Man, and I wasn't really prepared for how that was going to go. Nobody knows the show. There were no other Omni-Men, and there wasn't even an Invincible there, but everybody knows that meme. So everybody came out to me wanting to recreate the meme. So I haven't been mobbed like that in some time. So it was fun, but I'm like you today. I'm very sore because I was doing this like 1,000 times at the con and like crouching down and stuff. So yeah, it's and I actually ended up losing my voice because I kept on shouting "Think, Mark, think" like over and over and over and over again. So yeah, but and there was the age ranges too. Like normally, because I'm an older cosplayer and I cosplay like not obscure characters, but like I'm not cosplaying like anime stuff. And this year, I don't know about you, but there was so much anime there this year.
There was
both cosplay and for vendors and artists
there
and booths
was
and stuff. Seemingly a lot more than
usually. Yes.
Yeah. But even the anime cosplayers and the anime fans were coming up to me because they know the meme. So they were still coming up to me wanting to get the picture and getting it done, which has never, ever happened to me before. So
and maybe we should talk about that in a little bit. But, I just want to get to Robbie here. Guest here tonight on the show, Grayson Grid Cosplay. Robbie, how's it going, man? We missed you at Fan Expo.
Yes, and although I wasn't ready to go, once I saw everyone posting, I was like, oh, I should have gone.
Oh, you should have. It was amazing. It was one of the FOMO. Yeah, it was one of the best Fan Expos I've been to. And Jeff, I what you mentioned there about the anime, and I want to talk about Fan Expo actually for a couple minutes before we get into the DC stuff, if that's okay with everybody. Mm-hmm. There was a lot more anime stuff than usual. The smaller venue, maybe. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but having everybody within that same South building, except for the celebrity stuff, but everything else was in that South building. It had a different feel than what Fan Expo usually feels like. And people seemed excited. People loved it. People were into it. People were going nuts. Man, we were getting mobbed. We couldn't walk 3 feet without a group of people stopping us to take pictures. What was it? Is it just because there was no Anime North, there was no Comic-Con, again, the smaller venue? Like, what was it that had people so going crazy about Fan Expo this year?
It was definitely the fact that there hasn't been a con in 2.5 years. That's I think the key for everyone. All the hesitancy that people had, like Robbie, and Robbie is hardly alone. Robbie's the majority, not the minority. Most people I saw a bunch of people I know and that I'm friends with and that I've seen, but there were way more people that weren't there that I noticed. And by all means, I don't blame anybody for not going. While they had, vaccine protocols in place and everybody had to wear a mask regardless over the age of 2, everybody had to wear a mask. So they were taking precautions, but social distancing, I can tell you now, well, you just said it. Social distancing did not happen on any level, because even though it was the con felt like a Toronto Comic-Con as opposed to a fan expo, right?
It did.
Most of it localized into the South Building. They moved a bunch of stuff around for some weird reason. I'm not sure why they did that, but they did, because almost everything out on the concourse, there was nothing out there. Everything was jammed into the big room.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, all the celebrities were over in the North Building. So the layout was weird, and it hasn't all been wine and roses. I've seen people online complaining about how the con was run this year too. But at the end of the day, we finally got a sizable con for everyone to go to. Meet up with their friends, have a good time, take pictures, wear cosplay. We haven't had that in so long now. I was thrilled with it. I'm sure as I look back on it, I'm going to be like, well, this or well, that. But yeah, the last 3 days were like a whirlwind of excitement and activity for me. So
that was the thing for me, is that the way Fan Expo usually is, I thought there's no way there's going to be any distance.
No, there wasn't.
Well, there was none.
Yeah.
No.
And like,
even though this was a quarter of the size of what Fan Expo usually is, there still was no distancing.
No.
Like, I have 9 cosplays ready to go that I've never wore to a con, so obviously I would like to do a con soon, but I just couldn't see it following protocols properly. So
no, and it depended on what was going on too. Like anytime that they were doing the red carpet, it was just a sea of humanity for that. People all just jammed in and lined up to do that and to watch it. They tried with the booths. They did have the especially the standalone booths. They had them much more spread out than normal. And even with the artist alley and such, it wasn't such a squashed in, like, how narrow the rows can get sometimes, and you're trying to get through and it's just a wash of people. They did have those aisles a little bit wider than they normally would have.
There were less vendors, for sure. There were less vendors.
Less vendors. Yeah, of course. But I probably, again, like you said, probably about a quarter of the vendors, but but I don't know if that was by design. Right. I don't know if they made sure that only so many vendors were going to be allowed in based on the space that they were going to utilize and how much spacing.
Well, they had to
between.
Yeah, they had to. The other thing I noticed too is there were no exhibits. Sony wasn't there. Microsoft wasn't there. None of the gaming stuff was there. None of the gaming companies were there.
No, neither was DC. DC usually has a huge area.
Wasn't there.
No,
none of the horror stuff was there.
No. They've been kind of peeling back on the horror though year after year, anyways. So
they have, but yeah, I mean, you're right when you say it felt more like Comic-Con than Fan Expo. It really did.
Yep.
Felt more Comic-Con than Fan Expo, but I don't necessarily have an issue with that.
No, neither do I. It was good. I had a good time.
Yeah. Oh, we're losing Robbie for a second here. Hey, while he's away, so Omni-Man was a success. Loved the mask with the big mustache. I thought that was genius.
Yeah, my good friend Alicia, I proposed it to her. She's got a cricket, and with the iron on and stuff. So I just said, I just want a big old hairy mustache on the front of the mask if I have to wear the mask. And that got more after the meme thing. Obviously, that got more comments than anything else. They're like, "That's so clever that you did that." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't. It was my idea, but I didn't do it." Same with Peacemaker. When I did the Peacemaker, I there was a place in there that was doing custom make masks, and they just said, "Send us any image, and we'll put it on a mask for you." So I found like the most stained, ragged American flag I could find. Actually, the picture was called Tea-stained American flag. I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect." So I had to print that and wore that for the day with under the Peacemaker helmet. And it all even all kind of lined up. So it was good. But I mean, you guys, so here's my question to you, because I ran into somebody else. One of my friends was doing Winter Soldier. So she had like the full Winter Soldier mask.
Yes.
They still made her Chantal. That's right. Miss Chantal cosplay.
Yes.
They made her put a mask on underneath that, but they didn't make you guys put a mask on underneath your Predator mask.
So... but we were wearing masks underneath their Predator masks.
Oh, you were? Oh.
They were just around our chins because who can tell? I mean, we're wearing a full... I mean, we might as well be wearing a bike helmet. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're fully covered. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they would expect and why they would have us wear a mask under our mask. That seems silly, but... when we went in, I asked the guy, I said, "Hey, like, do I really need to wear the mask under the mask?" And the guy was like, "Don't worry about it. but I still had it. I had
You
it
still had
around
it
my
underneath
chin
there.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
Okay. That's fair.
We both had them around our chins the whole time.
Mhm.
It was just easier if you want to take it off.
No, for sure. Yeah.
There's
No,
the
that makes
mask,
sense.
right?
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
If she was wearing like the actual Winter Soldier mask, it's got holes all over it because I bought one because my Winter Soldier's almost done, and it definitely would not work for
No.
a like COVID mask.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know which one she had, but
Yeah.
she was just saying this seems silly. I have to wear a mask under my mask. But yeah, no, I get it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you had to
guess
show you had to show proof of vaccination, double vaccination. But
Yeah.
it was a two-tiered system for you to get in. You had to get a wristband that would show that you were double vaccinated, and you had to have your badge on top of that. So if you didn't have those two pieces, you couldn't get into the con.
I found a little. I'm sure there's a point to that. I found it weird that they would give you your bracelet that showed that you're vaccinated to go get your badge. If you don't have your bracelet, you can't get your badge.
Correct.
So they give you your badge, and when they give you your badge, you have to show your bracelet.
Right.
But then why do I need to show my bracelet every time I want to come in if I have my badge?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of the bracelet? Why wouldn't you just give me a card that I can exchange for my badge or something?
Yeah,
like,
I think the key was yes and no. You theoretically could have likely gotten a badge without, like, you didn't need to be double vaccinated to pick up your badge. You just need to be double vaccinated to get your bracelet. But the day of, you had to be double vaccinated to get your bracelet. So I think they were worried that any of the like, because you could go on Thursday to pick up your badge. I think maybe they were worried that.
Oh, I see.
Guys were getting
we
their
weren't able to
badges.
do that. We had to go get our badge. We had to go and line up
Right. Same. Yeah. So
to get our bracelets before we could go in and get our
That's right.
badges.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I didn't realize you could go ahead of time. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Any hoodles.
Guys, so DC Fandome, they announced a bunch of stuff. They released a bunch of trailers, new designs that they showed, made announcements of all sorts of stuff. I'm going to quickly go through some of the stuff here, and you guys please jump in because I'm sure I'm forgetting anything. But Batman had a new trailer. Actually, the whole show ended with a Batman trailer. The Flash had a new trailer. Black Adam, they opened with the Black Adam teaser. That was amazing. We're going to talk about that. I think maybe that's what we're going to talk about first. They had an Aquaman behind-the-scenes look that showed us if Black Manta is actually back. Shazam! Fury of the Gods behind-the-scene looks. Video games. Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad. What was the other video game? They announced another one as well, didn't they? I forget now, but let's move on. TV shows, Peacemaker and Naomi. They showed us a brand new Blue Beetle design. I didn't even know we were getting a Blue Beetle movie until they showed us the design. They made a Static Shock announcement. There was a lot of stuff going on that day.
Yep. Batgirl movie coming directly to HBO
Batgirl
Max.
movie.
An animated milestone film going to be coming as well. So, yeah.
Oh, they've announced some animated stuff as well that I forgot to add here.
Injustice as well, right?
Injustice, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we got the new Injustice trailer.
Yep.
The Young Justice. They announced that we were getting a Young Justice season 4 or 5 now.
Yeah.
It is 4, right?
Phantoms. 4 is starting. Yeah. It just started. So.
Oh, it's already started. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it Phantoms? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff that happened. So let's start at the beginning. The show opened with The Rock doing a bit of a presentation. I forget what the whole speech was about, but the Black Adam teaser. You never really get to see The Rock. Not really. You don't see his face. But man, did that teaser friggin' fire me up. What did you guys think?
Well, as the biggest part to me wasn't even Black Adam. It was, as a big Dr. Fate fan, seeing Pierce Brosnan just holding that helmet. That's all I needed, and total goosebumps. I'm all in.
Yeah, it was cool. I don't know if that's meant to be the Rock of Eternity when they go into that cavern at first, and she reads the Shazam on the stone on the floor, and then Teth Adam appears, Black Adam appears. I don't know how much of his lore and his history they're going to go into. I don't know how well they're going to tie it back to the Shazam film. I don't know if we're going to get an appearance by the original actor that played the Wizard Shazam in the first Shazam film. So there's lots of variables there too. But yeah, like I'm curious, and even on top of that, I'm curious how they're going to interweave Hawkman and Atom Smasher and Cyclone, like the other Justice Society members in there too. So, and yeah, Dr. Fate. My only concern with Dr. Fate, because I'm a big Dr. Fate fan as well, is how do they avoid the obvious comparisons to Doctor Strange? Because they are very, very similar characters, or similar heroes, whatever you want to call them. In fact, we were talking at one point about Marvel versus DC, and I was talking to a friend of mine about the amalgam universe that they did back then, and of course, it was Doctor Strange Fate. They amalgamized those two guys into one character. So that's my only concern, is how much they're going to compare Doctor Fate to Doctor Strange. And they're both doctors. They're both use magic and blah, blah, blah. And the common, again, I'm not talking about us geeks and nerds. We know what the differences are, but I'm worried about just the common film goer going, wow, it's just Doctor Strange with a helmet. You know what I mean? So
they have to play on who he is. Sorry, they have to play on Dr. Fate versus whoever is Dr. Fate in this movie. Who is Pierce Brosnan playing?
Is it Kent Nelson? I'm assuming it is. I don't know.
I thought so. Let me tell you.
But I mean, they have to be able to really differentiate the fact that you've got two different entities, two different people, right? That's what makes them different, and that's what they need, I think. To not have that issue, I think that's what they need to do. They really need to focus on that. It really is
the helmet of Naboo. It's not Dr. Kent Nelson himself doesn't have any powers inherently. He has to have the helmet to be Dr. Fate. So it's a whole other persona that takes him over. So yeah, maybe you're right. Hopefully that's what they'll focus in on. But I'm excited. Again, I'm glad that it looks like they're kind of shying away from the Marvel formula. Obviously, he kills a guy in the first scene that they've shown. So he's very much obviously, not that the Marvel heroes have any problem killing people. They do it all in every movie all the time, but maybe not in such a brutal way. So it'll be interesting to see how they make this a heroic friendly type thing, or if they leave him like a really bitter and he's got to be someone we got to root for. We're not going to root for him if he's just a dick through the whole film. So I don't know how they're going to ride that line. A little bit. Well, like if they kind of Wolverine him, that's fine. If they make him that level of anti-hero, I'm okay. But if it's anti-hero is a really, really hard line to find. It's really easy to dip too far one way or the other. And I'm hoping they can ride that line fine. And I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if he'll be like full on hero. Like we do have the Justice Society there, so if it focuses on them enough, then it doesn't really matter, right? So
right, but again, the argument, like, is he with them? Do you know, like, that's what I'm saying. So that's like, are they fighting against him? Like, is he the villain in his own movie? And is he not the last act that he realizes that he could help instead of?
I don't think he's going to realize at all, because I think they're going to have him. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be an anti-hero. I think we're getting a villain movie. The same way we got a Joker movie, we're getting a Black Adam movie. And then he's going to be the villain of his own story to then go face off with Shazam in Shazam Part 3.
Because they have played in the comics, they have played with him being an anti-hero on more than one occasion type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, more than him being a villain, to be honest, especially lately. He's been more of an anti-hero than a pure villain. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm excited one way or another. Let's see what they do. It'll be an interesting take if they could try to do a whole movie that's not like a cerebral movie like Joker, but like a comic book movie where the villain is the main guy. That'd be unique, man. That'd be pretty cool if they could pull that off.
Yeah, totally up for that. If they can make that work, I'm totally for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he'll end up a hero anyways, because The Rock's talking about how he wants to face Shazam, and he wants to face the Henry Cavill Superman, and
No, but they all fight eventually, right? Like everybody comes to blows at some point. Like even the Avengers, like they fight. Like you've seen Civil War, they fight, but then they realize that there is a bigger threat that they have to face together. They only can do it together. So you know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. He doesn't have to stay a complete villain throughout the entire arc of the story. Like in the comics, they can give him some sort of a redeeming moment where he realizes there's a bigger threat that he has to team up with and face together. That's more what I meant, not 3 panels in, all of a sudden he's a good guy. That's not that's not going to work. That's not who he is. So
No.
yeah. Do you think Kandahar comes into play? Like, do you think that the nation that he runs is going to be a thing, much like with Doctor Doom and Latveria or wherever it is that he's at? Do you think they incorporate that, or like, is it going to be too Wakanda-ish, or like, what are they going to do?
I think we might get a little bit of it. I don't think it'll be heavily focused on in the movie. It's like maybe flashbacks or
Right.
something like that, because with the Justice Society, I assume this is 40s or 50s, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they're all in their prime, right? So
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be, you're right, like in the 40s or 50s. And then if you go by the teaser, it looks like they wake him up from wherever he was imprisoned or whatever the case is, right? So
yeah, if you look into his history, he hasn't been on Earth for about 10,000 years, roughly, or so. So
well, there you go. So I don't know if they're going to play on that. I feel it's going to be one of those things where they wake him up and then he goes on a rampage and the Justice Society starts going after him. And don't be surprised if he takes them all out one by one. That's the way I see that going. He takes them all out one by one, and it ends with a cameo from either Superman or Shazam.
well, I don't think it's going to be Superman.
There's rumblings about Henry Cavill being back in the Superman suit. Just saying.
Dude, no one would be happier than me. Trust me on this.
Well, apparently he was seen on set at the Flash movie filming. So,
well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Well, I don't think there's any confirmation that he was seen in a Superman suit.
No, just that he was there when they were filming.
Yeah, he was there apparently when they were filming, yes. But who knows? Let's talk about Flashpoint. I mean, we might as well. It's a good segue. So he's on the set of The Flash. I want to start with the trailer. I want to get both your inputs on what you thought of the trailer.
Multiverse, so hot right now.
Is it too hot? Is it?
Well, and that's where I kind of feel
point?
like DC's kind of getting a little bit of the shaft here, because DC is who came up with the multiverse in the first place. You know what I mean? They've really been the main progenitors of that throughout comic history, is really building out that whole idea, and they've been doing it through movies and TV pretty much right from the beginning. They've always have different versions of each of their characters, and that was their explanation all the time. It's a multiverse, not a shared universe. And now Marvel is attempting to sort of do the same thing. So yeah, is there too much multiverse going on right now? 100% there is. Can you tell this story any other way? No. And we know there's a multiverse, not just because we hear Michael Keaton narrating the trailer, which you do, but there's 2 Ezra Millers in a couple of the shots. You can see Ezra Miller standing behind Ezra Miller. So I don't know if that's an alternate universe, an alternate timeline, a multiversal Flash or what have you, but I think the rumors are probably somewhat kind of true. I think this is their way of being able to retcon and reset some of the film stuff that they would rather not have sort of hanging over their heads for whatever reason. It gives an opportunity to hit the reset button, just like Flashpoint did for DC Comics before they launched the New 52. So,
well, that's typically what they use a Flashpoint story for, right? Is always to reboot.
Yeah.
Right. They use Flashpoint to reboot and to change, and they've done it in the animated movies twice now.
Yeah.
They've used Flashpoint twice to reboot their movies into the next version of So we know Michael Keaton's in the movie. Like you said, he narrates at least the beginning of the trailer. I don't know if he narrates the whole thing, but you can hear him talk at the beginning. Obviously, the long-eared Keaton-style cowls show up.
Yep.
We're assuming they're in his Batcave, right? When he clicks on the lights, and
looks like it.
When they ask, we assume him. Are you in? We're assuming he's talking to Batman.
Well, especially at the end, the little bit at the end where it
looks like it's the Batmobile,
the tarp off that long ass Batmobile. We all know what Batmobile that is. So
okay. So do we though? Is this Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne Batman, or is this Michael Keaton, Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman?
Well, I think it was I forget who it is. Someone from DC was saying that it is the like the Tim Burton Batman, like that is a multiverse.
Okay.
Like they did establish that during the TV, where in Crisis on Infinite Earths, Earth 89 was this universe. So
Right. Yeah.
I think it's just that it's the like Batman Returns universe, not that it's Thomas Wayne or anything. But
that's my understanding as well.
Yeah.
So are we getting Thomas Wayne at all?
We'd better, damn it, and it better be Jeffrey Dean Morgan, or I quit.
I mean,
this
that would be
whole
amazing.
damn universe,
That would
I
be amazing.
quit.
Well, didn't he say he wanted to do it?
Of course. How would you
Yeah.
not want to do it?
Yeah.
But again, the problem is he's in the Snyderverse, and they're trying to start to distance it. That's what this is kind of a reset button away from the Snyderverse, even though they're still going with Aquaman and such. So, but Aquaman made $1 billion. So, I mean, of course, let's not fool anybody, kids. Disney, Warner's, doesn't matter. They're all out there to make money. Continuity is nowhere near as important as making money. So, I mean, it would set my heart. It would be my favorite. I would have a new $2,000 cosplay I would have to do if Jeffrey Dean Morgan comes out as Thomas Wayne Batman, unfortunately. But you've already got Michael Keaton as his original Tim Burton Batman, and you're going to have Affleck coming back as his Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can call it a Flash movie if you get a third Batman in there.
Oh, it's just going to be all Flashes and Batmans. That's it.
Yeah. It's not Flashpoint. It's Flash Batpoint. It's
well, and that was kind of a point I was trying to make when we had this first conversation is how close. I mean, they can't be sticking that close to the Flashpoint storyline
I'm
we're talking
hoping
multiverse within the movie. The way the Flashpoint storyline usually goes is Barry goes to the past, saves his mother. He never becomes the Flash.
Correct.
Wanting to change things back and make things right, he goes and see the now Thomas Wayne Batman to help him build this, I forget what he calls it, but this machine that would give him the Speed Force, or reconnect him to the Speed Force, so he could, anyway, go back and change things back to how they were. And that eventually basically destroys the multiverse and reboots it into the New 52 or the War series of movies or whatever the case is.
Well, at the start anyway, those series of movies was just the New 52. So, especially
they kind of were. You're right. They really kind of were.
Like the movie War is just the first 5 issues of the New 52 Justice League.
Yeah.
Justice League. Yeah, exactly.
So what do you guys think we're getting here in the Flashpoint movie? Are we getting a mishmash of both stories? Are we actually getting a Flashpoint?
No.
Is them calling it Flashpoint misdirection?
Well, they're not calling it Flashpoint yet, Jess. They're just calling it Flash, right?
No, they've confirmed. I'm pretty sure they've already confirmed it's Flashpoint.
It was the Flash, then it was Flashpoint, now it's the Flash again. It's not Flashpoint.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just that you've seen Civil War. Have you read Civil War?
I have.
That movie and those comics are not the same. They're not even.
No, I realize that. They're not the same at all.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not the same at all. But
no. Yeah.
She
so
has them.
They don't have to. They just have to have the concept. They want to have their multiverse movie. They're going to have it. Depending on where they are in production and where Doctor Strange 2 is production, they may beat Doctor Strange 2 to it. Although I guess you could argue that Loki's already done it first, or whatever you want to do in this ridiculous one-upmanship that they're doing. But I think they're gonna, the core concept of him going back to save his mother, which obviously you do see in that teaser,
in that trailer,
that core concept and the ripple effect that's going to have. That's what Flashpoint is at its heart. Everything else is minutia. Everything else is details. The story is he goes back to save his mother, and they've established all of that through the Snyder films. Him going to see his dad in jail, them talking about her being dead, him being wrongly accused. He has all the motivations in the world already baked in universe as Ezra Miller as the Flash. So as long as that core concept of him going back to save his mother is there, and that irrevocably harms or messes with the timeline, the rest is just details, man, and it doesn't really matter what the rest of it does.
Well, there is one detail that would matter, is if that's what they're doing, we at the very least need to get a new Thawne.
Well, Eobard Thawne. If that's who they're going to make ultimately the villain, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be. There's lots of multiverse level villains in DC that they could use. I've seen enough of the Flash TV show that I could do without any kind of speedster villain.
Actually, they could even have it be like an alternate version of himself. Like, who knows? Like, it could be, Yeah, if they've got the multiverse and diverging timelines available to them, it can literally be anybody they want. They don't have to do Eobard Thawne if they don't want to. So, yeah, I'm with Robbie. I would love to see it be someone new. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of the trailer overall?
Loved it.
Actually, sorry, let me back up for a quick second. There's one thing in the trailer that we saw that we have not discussed, and it's the new suit.
Let me. I'm gonna let you and Robbie talk about that for a second. I'm just gonna grab a drink real quick. So
Yeah, Robbie, what'd you think of the new suit?
Is
that the new suit? Or is that just another alternate reality suit?
Yeah, who knows? It could be the other Barry
could be.
suit for all we know. I liked it though. It does look a lot like the new 52 suit. So
It does. Yeah.
So there is that. I did really like the Snyder Justice League suit, but this looks cool too. I like it.
I found the Snyder suit to me to be a little too Injustice, a little too armor-ish, rather than being a suit.
I liked the armor aspect. I don't know Injustice though, so I didn't know it was like
Yeah,
that.
so Injustice, he's wearing more of an armor than a suit.
Oh, okay.
Now, not to say I had anything against the suit, because I think it was still a great suit in the Justice League. Don't get me wrong. I really like what they're doing with this one, the lighting up, the yellow glowing parts, and I thought it looked amazing when I saw it. That was the one piece of the trailer, to be honest, that I loved. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. Otherwise, the trailer I found almost a little bit disappointing. I let Jeff put his headphones back on here so he can say what I'm about to say here. I was just saying, Jeff, how the suit for me in the new trailer, or the new suit in the trailer or in the teaser, was amazing. I love the look, the glowing yellow and all that stuff. But that was really the one part of the trailer that was, wow, that's cool. Otherwise, the trailer I felt was almost a bit of a letdown to me. The ending, okay, yes, the Batmobile and yes, the Batman, but we already knew Keaton was in the show, so I don't know.
You're saying it was underwhelming for you? Is that what you mean?
Yes, a little bit.
Well, I think it's similar to what, because Ezra Miller had that a very weird Ezra Miller at the beginning of that. Did say flat out, like we're still in the middle of making this film. We don't have the footage to do, so we kind of threw this together, the director and I, to give you
Fair
guys
enough.
something to go with or go for. What they probably should have done is what they did with Aquaman and with Shazam, and just done a featurette behind the scenes instead.
Yeah.
But maybe they couldn't even do that. Maybe that would have revealed too much, because I remember you were earlier talking about Aquaman and how somebody's back. You said somebody was back.
Black Manta.
But for me, the big back is Orm. Patrick Wilson is.
Oh
back.
yes, that's right. Orm's back.
And
as
it looks like in a fairly significant meaty
Yes.
part. Like he's in a lot of scenes, which is fantastic because I love that character and I love that actor. So I'm 100% here for that. But I'm wondering if they should have gone that route with this instead and just done a featurette instead of trying to put together like a little trailer. But hey, man, as soon as Michael Keaton started talking and then Bad Ears came in, I was like, done. Thanks. First, cut the check. I'm there. What's going on?
Yeah. As soon as I heard the voice, I was just.
Well, it's like you and IJS were talking about the whole No Way Home thing. It's integrating the Raimi universe with the current universe and even bringing in some of the Garfield stuff. It's so guys like us can have that nostalgia from when those movies came out and how much we enjoyed them. So now we're going to get. I know Robbie's not quite our age, but when Burton's Batman was coming out, the Batman culture worldwide, and that's pre-internet, by the way, was at such a fervor. Like that was an event. It was everyone.
Back then, there was nothing bigger than Batman back then.
It was absolutely insane, and now we're going to get a taste of that back in through here.
I wasn't quite old enough for it for '89, but for Batman Returns, I was old enough to remember that anyway. I don't think I saw '89 till it was on pay-per-view.
I gotcha.
For some reason, my parents let me watch Batman '89 when I was how old would I have been? 4, 5. You know,
if you were in that era and you didn't have a shirt with a bat symbol on, get out of here, because you better, because everybody had one. It was mental. I remember lining up to see Batman '89, and the lineup was, there was the staircase that you had to go up to get to the ticket booth, and like we were all, it was was bananas. But we lined up, man, and we saw it. We came out of that going, that just changed my whole life. Are you kidding me? That was amazing. So,
And it's amazing that they completely redefined Batman for a whole generation with those movies.
Yeah.
Batman went from being blue and gray to black for
Yeah,
a whole generation because of those movies.
Yeah, very, very Frank Miller. They definitely drew on the Dark Knight Returns. Pretty much everybody has drawn on the Dark Knight Returns since the Dark Knight Returns came out. It kind of came the definitive Batman work, even though it's essentially an Elseworlds comic. But yeah.
Now, something about those movies that sprung to mind just now is that how disappointed I was with part of Batman Returns, because I had a bunch of the toys already, and in the toy line for Batman Returns, there's a Robin toy.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
Where the hell's
Really?
Robin? yeah, like full Tim Drake Robin. Yeah.
Huh.
I'm just like, where's he at? You know?
Yeah, there was
how mad at you? Just a diversion. How mad at you how mad are you at Christian Bale for basically demanding to Nolan, like, I'm not going to be Batman if there's a Robin in these films? How upset are you with Christian Bale that you got robbed of a Robin? Because I guess the intention initially was to have Robin in it pretty much from the get-go, like in Begins kind of thing. And Christian Bale was like, if you want me to do this role, I don't want a Robin. It has to be just Batman. So
there's many people to be mad at in that kind of situation. Like in the scripts for 89 and Batman Returns, there's a Robin that Tim Burton cut out.
Yeah.
And then you're telling me that, like, I was more mad about what was his name in Dark Knight Rises.
That's
like sort of Robin.
JGL. Yeah.
The reveal at the end, I thought they were going to say that his actual name was Dick Grayson, and when they said his name was just Robin, I was like,
Oh yeah, that was kind of dumb.
Screw
What's your middle name? It's Robin. What?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to diverge there. Okay, so The Flash, what are we thinking? We're excited, or we're being cautious, or what are we thinking?
I'm real excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm almost more excited at the fact that we're getting The Flash, we're getting Aquaman, we're getting Shazam, all movies within the Snyderverse. I know we had talks about this last week that we'll get to again in a second, because I want to rehab that conversation so people can hear everybody's thoughts. But I'm excited. Was a little bit underwhelmed with the trailer, but it makes sense in the context of, they're just trying to throw something together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Robbie's still choking, so how
All
about
right.
you give us
I'm okay. Yeah.
You okay? What are your thoughts?
Just swallowed around. About the Snyderverse, is that what we were talking about?
No, final thoughts on the Flash trailer.
Sorry, I thought you were saying about the Snyderverse. I loved the trailer for what it was. As I was saying, as a little kid, Michael Keaton was Batman to me, right? So just to hear him doing the voice again, and apparently being in the suit, because he's talked about that putting the suit on again. So I'm real excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what other who else shows up and what other surprises they have for us. So
Same. What he said.
Sounds good to me. Let's move on.
Yep.
We might as well talk about it now, because we've talked about Batman now for the last 10 minutes. So we might as well talk about the Batman. That's how they finished the show with the Batman trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see a lot more in this trailer, which was neat. We actually got to see Alfred.
Well, they'd actually finished principal photography this time. Last year for the last trailer, they only had a quarter of the film filmed, so they gave us what they could. But
and that's going to bring one of my main points about this is we got to see a lot more in this trailer. We got to see more of the Penguin. We got to see more. We still haven't seen Nigma's face. Edward is still a blank to us. All we know is it's him.
Wait a minute. Edward Nigma is still an enigma? Is that what you're saying to us?
Yeah. Read between the lines there, bud. But even though they were still in the middle of filming the movie, the first trailer for me had more impact, had more of that holy crap, what did I just watch moment than this one.
This is up until I saw this trailer, the first full Man of Steel trailer was the best trailer that I'd ever seen put together. This one eclipsed it for me. I think it's the best trailer that's ever been put together. The way it opens up, the lighting, the cinematography, the music is perfect. Keeping Nigma's face from being revealed, the pacing of the trailer, giving equal time to different characters. Like Catwoman's in this a lot, in the trailer a lot. And I mean, good Lord, is Zoe Kravitz one of the most attractive human beings on planet Earth. When she steps out of that car in those boots, I was like, all right, man, there's my ticket money. That's all you need to do. That works for me. Talk about a perfect casting for Catwoman. Holy snapping. Andy Serkis looking like a very deeply serious, an unrecognizable Colin Farrell. He doesn't even sound like himself, let alone look like him. The work that they've done on him is extraordinary.
I heard somebody say, and this is a funny anecdote, and I can't remember who it is. They said that Jim Carrey as the Grinch looked more like Jim Carrey than Colin Farrell looks like Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's more recognizable as the Grinch than Colin Farrell is, which is crazy. It's
bananas.
Yeah.
But the car, the visceralness.
The car is insane.
The visceralness of this trailer, the obvious brutality, and this trailer did something that I feel like the last trailer didn't quite get across, is showing how completely unhinged and just on the ragged edge of control he is. This is a year 2 Batman. We've never really seen a year 2 Batman where he's got year 1 under his belt. He's sort of figured out this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. But he hasn't quite been able to separate angry at the world Bruce Wayne from the Batman persona. So it looks like he's always just on this ragged edge of losing control. And clearly there's one scene in this trailer where he's just beating the holy snot out of somebody, and Catwoman is there and she's like flinching back, like she's scared of what's going on because he's clearly losing it. We haven't seen that interpretation yet. I'm super excited for it. Sorry, Robbie, I'm just blabbering on. Go ahead. What do you think?
Well, I thought the trailer was all right.
How am I the hype man for Batman in this scenario? That's insane.
Well, I love all the characters around Batman, but not Batman himself. It was a good trailer. It looks cool, but did it get me excited? No. I will admit that I didn't even realize while watching the trailer that was the Penguin or Colin Farrell. I thought that was Carmen Falcone, who was in the movie as well. So, Zoe Kravitz does look totally like the Catwoman I prefer. That's what she looks like. So she's perfect casting. I think Robert Pattinson will do a great job. I liked that casting from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be good. It's just the trailer didn't get me super excited. It was just
that's fair.
Yeah.
JS, you're saying the same? It didn't quite grab you the way the first one did?
So, okay.
Well, hold on. Let me check my notes here, kids. Dad's gonna fill you in on what this all means.
I'm gonna agree and disagree. So I'm a little bit with Robbie here in the sense that trailer, the visual style is amazing. There's nothing wrong with it. I want to talk about the visual style actually in a second, but as far as the editing of the trailer, as you think or you feel like the editing was amazing and it was well put together. That's where I feel like it almost fell flat on its face, is the actual editing. It felt disjointed. It didn't have that impact of in that first trailer that, well, who the hell are you? And then he starts kicking the guy's ass and he's like, oh, I'm vengeance. That was a holy freaking crap moment. What is going on? At the same time, I agree with you though, Jeff, that the whole unhinged, losing it, almost out of control Batman is what we're getting in this movie. And I freaking love it.
Right.
I don't get me wrong, me not being as excited about this trailer as I was of the first one, don't confuse that with me not being excited about this movie.
Right.
Because I'm very excited about this movie. when I grew up reading Detective Comics, Batman wasn't what Batman is now.
Right. Like we talked earlier, that Frank Miller series of stories really had an impact on how they've portrayed Batman throughout all media since then.
It did, and I almost feel like when you look at how Batman is, you got to figure, how can I explain what I'm trying to say? Even the Justice League in any media always considers Batman to be rough around the edges, right? Because he's Batman.
There's
has
a
no
reason
problem kicking people's ass, right?
There's a reason his team that he puts together is called the Outsiders. There's in the comics.
Well, there you go.
That's not by accident. That's on purpose.
There you
right?
go.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're actually going to see somebody where in his early years, where in his development,
as
he has
opposed to
anger
yet
issues.
another origin story, right? Like
yeah,
at
exactly.
least-
I prefer seeing a guy that has anger issues that you're seeing is a little bit out of control, but uses that anger. I mean, let's be honest. That's the whole point of Batman, right? Is to use that anger for good, right?
He's mad.
Exactly. Is that right? Is that a good thing to do? Do you want to use your anger to turn around and beat people up? No. Is that a fantasy that everybody has when you're angry to go and kick some bad guy's ass?
Clearly.
Yeah. And that's what we haven't had in Batman, and I think we're gonna. You're right. We're getting a very, very different Batman than we ever have.
See, for me, that you're talking about sort of like that holy-esque moment of the trailer with the the like beats the guys up and I Am Vengeance. For me, that was the hallway scene where it's only the muzzle flashes that are the lighting and the way.
Yeah, that was a cool scene. I'll admit.
And I get it, like it's not even realistic. Even if he's wearing body armor, he would still be like flinching back from the hits and stuff. I don't care. It looks dope as fudge. So,
and let's be honest, the music as it's firing it,
yeah,
and it matches. Yeah, it's a
the music's
it's a good scene.
So.
Yeah.
You know what? Vimeo instead of YouTube, Vimeo has the 4K version of the trailer, so it's crystal clear. I'd recommend going and watching it on Vimeo so you can really get a good sense of this, how good the cinematography and the lighting and the setups are for that trailer. Because man, it's beautiful. It's even if you don't like the pacing or what it's talking about, that trailer itself is gorgeous. So
I read a few. Well, I was going to say a few years ago, maybe not a few years ago, maybe about a year ago when they were starting production on Batman. Maybe that was a few years ago now. I mean, the movie's been delayed so long. They were showing concept art and they were talking about how they were going to make the world of Gotham more akin to Batman the Animated Series.
okay.
So where it would be more of a Art Deco, blimps in the air type of aesthetic. They're going to be blimps. They already had scenes where they've got placeholders for the blimps flying overhead and stuff like that. I feel like they haven't really let us in on that yet, but you can kind of see it in some of the scenes and some of the way that the colors are set up, and I feel like that's exactly what we're getting. I think they were very right in saying the visual style is going to be the animated series. That's what we're basing this on.
I'm here for it. We don't really get a whole lot of, even when it looks like they're going to promise us that, like the Gotham TV series was initially supposed to be that very dark, gritty, noir police tale of Gordon's rise through the corrupt, and it ended up being nothing like that at all. It ended up being a campy piece of. Anyways, I digress. I know the show has its fans, but holy snap! I got through 2 seasons of that, and I was like, yeah, that's all I can handle of that. But I would love to see that.
Far. I got about a season and a half. And
It's rough. I would love to see that, JS, like a true, like I feel like we haven't had like a really dark and gritty Gotham since Burton's Gotham. Burton's Gotham had that deco cathedral noir-ish, very gothic, the gothic Gotham. It's called Gotham for a reason. Let's make it as gothic as we possibly can, and hopefully they'll do that.
I mean, holy cow, we've been talking for over 45 minutes here, and we've only covered the first three points on the list.
Those
here.
are the big ones, though. Right?
Okay. So one thing I want to cover, I just want to get everybody's thoughts on quickly. The Blue Beetle suit. First of all, obviously, by releasing the images of the suit, basically confirming they're doing a Jaime story and not a Cord story.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
No, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Well, movie. Is it a
it's an
movie?
HBO movie. Yeah, like Batgirl. Yeah.
I mean, the suit's right out of Young Justice.
Well, in the comics, yeah, it's a comic book
It's
suit.
incredible. It's the Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
not an adaptation of. It's the Blue Beetle.
Right.
Did you guys? I mean, so I'm assuming you guys saw the suit. What are your thoughts?
yeah. As I was saying, like I loved it. It looks exactly like the New 52. I think is when they started that Blue Beetle. Yeah, it looks just like that suit. Um, yeah, the casting I think seems really good anyway. So I have high hopes. Yeah, I'm a big Blue Beetle guy, so I'm excited to see it.
See all this gray in my hair?
Yeah.
See this? Hashtag not my Blue Beetle. Hashtag bring back Ted Cord. Okay. Can we?
He
No,
might
I
be
know.
in
I'm
it.
just.
Like the
Well,
Cord
you can see in
Industries.
in that shot, you can see Cord Industries in the background. So I'm hoping they're not going to do something cheesy like make Cord the villain or something stupid like that. But
No, I hope it's just like in the comics, Cord's kind of like his mentor, right?
right.
So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that's what they do.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do an Ant-Man style setup where
I'm sure.
Cord's
Yeah.
the old man, and yeah.
The Hank Pym of this one. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've never really connected with the Jaime Reyes version of the character. I've always been a massive Ted Cord fan of the even back in the Charlton days. So it's and again, for little tidbit for you, Night Owl 2 in the Watchmen series is based on Blue Beetle. It was supposed to be Blue Beetle. Alan Moore was supposed to use the Charlton characters that DC had just bought, and they decided to come up with characters on their own, and they modeled them after those Charlton characters, right? Rorschach is the question, and
Well, wasn't it like he pitched
Dr.
the
Manhattan's Captain
idea,
Atom. Yeah.
and DC said, "You're not doing that with these characters," so he had to create his own. I thought
Yeah,
that's
but he
what it
made them
was.
exactly like those
Yeah.
characters were,
Yeah.
like almost to a T. So so I don't have a lot of connection to the character itself, I'm not gonna lie. So I mean, as long as the series is well done, I'll watch it, but I'm not that hyped about it because I am being a grumpy old man. He's not my Blue Beetle. I want give me a half hour lower deck style Blue Beetle Booster Gold half hour animated
dude,
comedy.
that would be
Come on.
amazing.
That's what I need in my life
That
from
would
those
be
80s and
amazing.
90s Justice League International comics where they were just two goofballs messing everything up, like a buddy cop show with those two on it. Come on, man. That would be.
I grew up going to this comic store that only had old comics, and I bought just boatloads of Justice League Europe. So I would definitely be into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I need in my life. But again, as long as it's done well, as long as the production values are high enough that they can do justice to that suit, and as long as it's not like, it's 3/4 of the movie because it's direct to HBO Max. Like I'm hoping it's not 3/4 of the movie is just him, I don't know, on a journey of self-discovery, and then the Scarab finally, you know what I mean? He only spends like the last 15 minutes in the suit and that's it, and then it's like, coming soon, Blue Beetle. I don't want that. He best be finding that Scarab in the first act, and he better wear most of it through the second and into the third. So
Yeah.
But I do understand what you mean.
yeah.
I'm not a Marvel guy, but when I was a kid, I loved Ant-Man. When this movie was coming out, I was like, who the hell is this guy? I didn't even know who he was. I was just like, who is this?
Scott Lang, what the hell?
Yeah, who?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Fair. Hashtag not my Ant-Man. Hashtag.
No,
Bring back
and
Hank Pym.
I'm kind of in a bit of the same boat as I was like, Scott Lang. Why would they make Ant-Man Scott Lang? Like they're starting the MCU and they're already making Hank Pym an old guy. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I mean the movies were okay, but I wasn't very familiar with Scott Lang either. Like for me, Ant-Man was always Hank Pym. It's Hank and Janet, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I do like this Blue Beetle, so I'm into it. So
Nice. Yeah, I guess we'll see where it goes. What about the Batgirl film, the direct to HBO Batgirl film? Were you guys on that?
I'm more into it now. When I saw the casting, I was just kind of like, well, she just doesn't look like Barbara, right? So
Right.
I was like, well, maybe she's not going to be Barbara, but obviously she is. But
She is, yeah. And now, what about the news that J.K. Simmons is going to come back and reprise as Gordon, as her father? So she's obviously she's Barbara Gordon, but So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that ties her into.
I think so.
Like, is he playing like an alternate version of Gordon in an alternate universe, or is
I
this
just
like
assumed it was in
the Snyder Gordon type thing? So yeah.
but I'm more into it. She's gonna have the red hair, so that's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
good. The concept art was cool. Like it looks very traditional. So,
what kind? Like at the end of the day, like what kind of a Batgirl film do you want? Do you want it to be just a popcorn actiony type thing? Do you want her to be showing off some detective skills instead? Like what do you think about a Batgirl film? Like what direction would you want them to go in with it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I would want more of a. I hesitate to say detective story because I don't really see her as a detective, but that more of that non-action, all action movie. I was really big on her run as Oracle, so
I was going to ask, do you want that? Do you want it to be where that ends up? Do you want her to go that route?
Well, then
do you float a Joker character in there somehow and have her go through that ordeal? Or?
I don't know if I'd go that far. But I'd like to see,
that's where I would go. I mean, if I'm gonna go and make a Batgirl movie, I'm gonna make the Killing Joke. I mean, why would you not? What? How could you pass up the chance of making the Killing Joke? If you're gonna make a campy or a funny or comedy, I mean, I guess it depends what kind of movie you want to make. Right?
That's what I meant. Like when you got to choose the direction. So this movie ends up being sort of her origin, and she's finding her feet, and then the second film is essentially the Killing Joke, and then the third film is either her as Oracle or her spending some of it as Oracle, and then fighting her way back to being Batgirl again, type of thing. So
which is in the modern
the comic.
She's not.
Oh wait,
Oracle
what?
forever.
She comes back.
Yeah, she's been Batgirl again since the start of New 52.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they just
altered it. They just rebooted her, and
they retconned pretty much everybody. So yeah.
Well, it also the Killing Joke still happened. It just didn't paralyze her this time. So, she recovered, is basically the idea. But I could do without a Killing Joke movie. I could do without the Joker in a movie ever again. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about your views on the Joker, Robbie. I forgot you're not a fan.
I could just take him or leave him. So we've got him a lot of times.
Yeah,
I'm good.
No, all right, that's fair.
But hey, if they did that, and then the third movie is Oracle and Nightwing, I'm good with that.
Oh man, wow, you had to get that Nightwing plug in there, didn't you?
They got him.
Well, I mean, you say that, but I feel like Batgirl is the opening that DC's trying to use for the Bat family, right? If Batgirl works, then they can expand into the whole Bat family. I feel like, which they never have, right? Yeah, we've had the Bat family, we've had Robins and Batgirls in Batman movies, but that's it, right?
That's again. I hate to keep bringing this up, but I think you're kind of already getting that with Titans, and I have a hard time believing they're going to run them consecutively or parallel. I don't think you're going to get any of that until Titans isn't a thing anymore, and it looks like Titans is getting a fourth season, which they announced on DC Fandome.
But we're getting two Barbaras.
We are getting two Barbaras. You're right.
Yeah. So
I just think I don't know if you'll get another Dick Grayson and Jason Todd until that show's run its course. That's all I meant. I guess we'll see.
Well,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they take it. That's for
sure. You can't have enough Robin for Robbie. Trust me on this one. There's no
I need
upper
a Robin
limit.
and with Robert Pattinson. Robin with Affleck.
What's your dream? So Dreamcast the Batman Part 2 with a Robin. Who's your Robin in the Batman Part 2 with Robert Pattinson?
With Pattinson, I have no idea. I'd have
you know what? Chew on that. By the end of the podcast, think about it a little bit and see if you can come up with a fan cast for a Robin. Come on, you could. This is your hero, man.
The kid in Dune. What's his name again?
Oh, that actually.
Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, not bad casting at all.
He'd be a good Robin.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2. You guys want to? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jax.
Yeah, I just don't know how much more growing he'll do. I don't know that he'll grow into this big brooding Nightwing, but yeah, I feel as a Robin, he'd be a good Robin. But yes,
he could be a Tim Drake though. He wouldn't necessarily have to be like a big hulking Dick Grayson, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you get a really young kid, make him Damian, right? You've got some options there. There's been like 17 Robins or whatever the fuck there's been.
Well, I mean, it's hard to make Damian in Batman's, potentially what, third or fourth year of being Batman, and all of a sudden
No. I know.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean. They have some
But
options.
yes.
They don't have to go with just one type of Robin. They can.
No,
they
could-
again,
they could-
we've talked before. They're not slaves to canon. Whatever's going to
No.
work, they'll just throw it in there. So
They could make a brand new Robin for all we know.
yeah. They could do a Carrie Kelly or a Stephanie, whatever the Stephanie
Brown.
girl's name is, Brown,
Or their
yeah.
own, they could, invent their own.
Yep.
Aquaman, yeah. I mean, first of all, what do you guys think of the black Aquaman suit?
That
Did you guys
stealth
notice that?
suit's dope.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Black? I thought it was
Yeah,
blue.
there's
all
a-
black.
There's a black. He's got a stealth suit that they released an image of. That he
Oh,
released an
okay.
image of on his Instagram. Yeah, it looks dope. Looks
You
and the
actually
new
see him
Black
get
Manta, too.
on
Yeah.
some creature with the black suit on
Yeah.
for a
Okay.
fraction of a second in the trailer.
They had shown an all blue suit, so I thought that's what it was in the trailers.
Oh. Oh, they did a black
I
suit
think
thing.
it might have been a lighting thing because I'm pretty sure it's all black.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here.
Well, when I saw the blue one, I thought, oh, that's cool, because one of the 80s reboots, he had an all blue suit. So
Yeah, it looks like it's, well, it's hard to say. It looks like it may have like a bluish sheen to
A
the
bluish
suit.
hue to it.
Yeah.
It
It's actually
hues to
not
blue.
black. You're right. It's more blue than black.
yeah,
There you go.
so I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Aqualad, hey? No? No Aqualad?
I
Robbie's
mean, I
all
would
about the
be,
sidekicks. Give me all
Yeah,
the sidekicks I can take.
Oh, that
I mean, I
first
would be
movie,
okay with
I
them
was
introducing the
looking
character.
for Garth. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No Garth, no Calderon. You're not getting any of that.
Oh,
None of that noise.
Yeah, I was keenly
Yeah, I
looking
know.
for anyone that might be Garth.
What a
I would
coup
totally
for
be
them
okay
to
with-
get Helen Mirren though for one of the villains in there and Lucy Liu. I
Mhm.
mean, are you kidding me? That's
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic casting. That is amazing. James Wan back to direct it. He did such a great job with that first one. If that's your style of movie, and I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, the first Aquaman film, but
Yeah.
for just like a popcorn shoot 'em up, great action underwater effects laden film, I thought it did exactly what it was supposed to do.
I
And
really
this
loved
one
it.
looks, yeah, I thought it was great. I think this
I
one
saw
looks
it.
very similar.
It felt so much like an Aquaman comic.
Oh,
First movie?
100%.
So I really appreciated that. They didn't try to reinvent him or anything. It was
Mhm.
just exactly, as an Aquaman fan, exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see now who the big bad is going to be, because obviously Orm is back with Patrick Wilson. Obviously Yaya is back as Black Manta with an updated suit, and he's got an axe to grind, as does Orm. So I don't know if they're going to introduce a third element that people are going to have to, like we talked before about teaming up against, like a bigger threat, or if it's just going to be, now Black Manta is going to take center stage as the big bad, and maybe
Yeah.
Orm and Arthur have to team up against him or whatever. Like, who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see where it goes, along with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu in the mix as well to shake things up too. So, because I heard they're supposed to be villains as well. So
Well,
seems
I
like
was
there's
just
a
gonna
lot of
say-
villains and just Aquaman. So
Well, I don't
hopefully
know that-
Orm's there to help him out or
Oh.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels, again, all we got was a behind the scenes
Yeah, the
featurette. So we don't really know, but from the scenes we're seeing, it at least looks like Orm is still with the Atlanteans, right? He's
Right.
still on Aquaman's side. So I'm hoping he is helping Aquaman more than a villain. Is he going to have some sort of Lex Luthor type dealings in the background? Maybe. You know what I mean? Is Black Manta going to be also just there as a cameo to try to screw things up and set things up for a third movie? Like, who knows, right? Who knows how it's all going to go? And Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, I mean, as unlikely as that would be, they could just be like the villain of the week. Do you know what I mean? And the big villain is Black Manta or somebody else, for all we know.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what the one thing that really surprised me about the first movie was how many villains they gave us the two biggest Aquaman villains, and they threw in the Deep in there, which was a big one in the New 52. So I was, why are they giving us a sequel then? Because they gave us the big bads already. But it looks like they're bringing them back. And
Yeah, that's
See-
cool, man. I'll take as much Patrick Wilson as they want to give me. fantastic
fantastic.
actor. That character was great. I'm here for it, man. Give me all of the Orm. You can master my ocean anytime.
All right.
Alrighty. Moving on.
All right.
So, with all of the announcements that we got, on top of all the stuff that's currently there, like you were mentioning, we got Titans, we've got Young Justice going on, we've got
Doom Patrol getting a fourth
Doom
season
Patrol.
as well. Titans.
Actually, the third season of Doom Patrol has released now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's in the mid stuff. I think there's 3 or 2 episodes left, maybe.
Okay, so
Titans just finished. So.
Titans just finished. Okay,
Titans
because I can watch it now. I've been waiting for it to finish so I can binge the whole season.
Same, exactly.
Yeah.
What is the one DC property that you guys feel needs to get more exposure, whether it be a TV series, a movie, video game? What's that one property for you guys that you want more of?
There's 2 for me. The first is a proper follow-up to Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
You have what has become one of the world's biggest movie stars in Henry Cavill. Waiting in the wings, still under contract. He said it himself. The cape is still in my closet.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out a way to make a Henry Cavill Superman movie. Make a Man of Steel
totally
2.
wants it to happen still.
Find a way to make that happen. I know that Warner Brothers struggles with a modern day Superman being relatable and relevant and such, but he's the first. He's the icon. He's the reason why we're having this. Why we have this podcast. Why there's a DC Fandome. Like it all starts with Superman. We have to figure out a way to bring that back. I'm all for the Black Superman movie coming out. If it's a Val Zod, I'm all for Michael B. Jordan's interpretation. I'm all for that, but we need to get Henry Cavill back in that suit and back on screen as Superman, not just in a cameo, but in his own film. And my other one, obviously, is Green Lantern. I mean, I know. You
took my 2 choices.
I'm sorry, man, but I mean, like the tattoo, even, right? Like I'm a massive GL fan. Obviously, the Ryan Reynolds film was very. I don't even want to call it divisive because it's not. It's basically universally crapped on, even by Ryan Reynolds himself. I thought it was pretty badly maligned for what it really was, but. Green Lantern Corps coming out. Hopefully, that's still going to happen. I know that was the original plan before everything kind of blew up. I'm hoping that's going to continue to happen, and we're going to see the light of day on that. And then if I have a backdoor pick on that, it would be more Watchmen. But I always want more Watchmen because it's Watchmen. So go ahead, Robbie. I stole your 2 answers.
Green Lantern Corps is definitely going to be one of my choices. Which the HBO Max series is happening because they've announced who's playing Guy Gardner and somebody else.
Yeah, I don't think Hal's in it, or at least I haven't heard about it.
Not that they've announced it. They did say it was supposed to, when they announced it, they said it was going to be all of the Earth Green Lanterns.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not getting my hopes up for Kyle because with my luck it'll be everybody else.
Maybe Kyle. It'd be cool to have Kyle on there.
Yeah, Chip. Hey, throw Chip in there.
Of course. Mogo, man, give me all the Green Lanterns. Don't mess around.
Of course, just give me a Robin show of every Robin. Just get the whole team.
You have an obsession, sir.
I'll give you a real out of left field pick because I mentioned it earlier. I would love like a goofy Justice League Europe show.
Yes.
I'd be up for that. Totally.
Hell yeah.
You're getting Blue Beetle, you're getting Booster Gold, you're getting Captain Atom, Elongated Man. I would love to see all these characters on screen, and otherwise, you're probably not getting it. So, that'll be my pick.
Yeah, Booster Gold for me for sure. We've gotten a little bit of Booster Gold in, what was it? Was it in Arrow or in Flash? I forget now. In one of the DCCW show.
Was it in Smallville?
Or maybe it was in Smallville.
Yeah, I think he was on Smallville, and he's had some bit parts in some of the animated stuff too. But I'm almost positive Booster was on Smallville.
We need a proper Booster Gold. That's something we haven't had. I would love to get a proper Under the Red Hood story, whether it be with the Affleck Batman. I mean, it kind of would have to be with Affleck because I can't see that being with the Pattinson Batman. He's too young for that, but
Yeah, and they've already established that our Robin is dead,
yeah.
right? So I assume it's
So,
Jason. So
well,
that would-
apparently they had some sort of a press release saying that it was actually Dick.
yeah, while a Nightwing movie was in production. I remember
Well,
that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
so at
I
the
mean,
time,
to me,
anyway.
you know, especially considering the suit was shorts, like they had no pant bottom and they were shorts,
Yeah.
which was a defining trait that was brought by Jason Robin.
Yeah.
So that's why I always assumed it was the Jason suit. But I would like to get a proper Under the Red Hood storyline. I'm not, again, I haven't fully watched Titans, so I don't know exactly how they're doing it, how they're explaining it. I'm not a huge fan of whoever the actor is as Jason Todd.
Oh,
That's my first problem.
I
And
think
there's something about the suit that I just can't. It's the helmet. There's something about the helmet that just doesn't work for me.
well, he doesn't wear it a lot, so it doesn't
Well,
matter.
that's another problem, right? I mean, so those would be my two picks, really. Booster Gold, Under the Red Hood, even though that's more of a movie than a character per se, but yeah.
Have you watched the animated movie?
Oh yeah, I own the animated movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really great. So.
Yeah,
Very well done.
Yeah. As far as Titans goes, I think he was cast really well to be Jason Todd as Robin.
Yes, not as Red Hood.
Yeah, it doesn't work as well with Red Hood, but I still think he did a good job. It was good. Yeah.
Nice.
I really liked the third season anyway. So.
He played a great young, brash, aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Too, wanting to do too much.
Yeah.
Jason Todd, he was he was perfect for that.
By the end of the season, he's changed. So I'll see how the next season is to judge his Red Hood, because this was definitely him becoming Red Hood. So we'll see.
Awesome. Hey, guys, listen, we've been at this for over an hour now, so we're gonna have to cut it here. But Robbie, thanks for making the time to come back. Really appreciate it. I know I said this last time, but we're going to have you again, and not just because we're going to be re-recording again, but we'll actually have you back to talk about other stuff as well.
Awesome.
It sucks that I didn't get to meet you at Fan Expo, but I'm sure we'll get a chance, at a future con. I mean, you're not too far, so I'm sure it'll happen. Jeff, yawning away. Jeff we're past his bedtime here.
Way past.
It sucks I didn't get a chance to chat with you on the weekend. It's like every time we bumped into each other, it's like we're getting pulled left and right.
Yeah.
But
no, that's fair. That's cosplay life, right? So we'll get a chance next time to, if we hit a con, we'll take off for a beer midway through and
we should do like a group cosplay thing so we can actually hang out and
I'm down.
Do the con thing as a group, and that'd be awesome. I want to also thank Cosplay Alliance before we go. Now, Anthony was with us when we originally recorded this episode. Fortunately, Anthony couldn't make it tonight. That said, the podcast would not be possible without Cosplay Alliance. They provide the platform here, the StreamYard platform, I'll say it right now, that we use to record the podcast. So thank you very much. Make sure you go give Cosplay Alliance a follow on YouTube and on Instagram. Links will be below. Guys, you want to pitch your socials before we go?
Robbie, you're on mute.
You're
sir.
on mute, bud.
Hey.
I was trying to be good and muting it when I was taking a drink, and then I just totally forgot. Just edit that right out. All right, perfect. All right, so people can follow me on Instagram. It's just Grayson Greg Cosplay.
Yeah, for me, it's Messiah Comics Cosplay pretty much across all social media. So I think a couple of them, when I didn't have this many characters, it's Messcom Cosplay. But yeah, if you just type into Google Messiah Comics Cosplay, you'll pretty much see all my socials will come up there for you. So
excellent. I should probably change my tag actually and put my personal Instagram there instead of the Geeks & Co. Instagram. But I'm JS Belanger 1701 on Instagram. At Geeks & Co. Also on Instagram is basically the page for this YouTube channel. Again, I will link everybody below. Please make sure you take a minute. If you're not already subscribed, go click that subscribe button. It really, really helps out. Give us a like. We'll see you next time.